Hi guys, I'm Mr. Zeecon and I have been a filmmaker for the past 8 years. Now it's about time that I decided to put my experiences online through blogs and vlogs on my website. The biggest confession of my life is something that I want to start this vlogging journey with. What is the confession? I think that the films I have made in the period of 8 years, all of them, they simply suck. Why do they suck? Because of the worst storytelling mistake I have been making in my filmmaking career. You see, back in 2008, one of the greatest films ever made was released. It was called The Dark Knight and it was directed by the legendary Christopher Nolan. It was after watching this film that I realized my own dream of becoming a storyteller. So I decided to watch all of Chris Nolan's movies and all the other great movies as much as possible with this new perception that Chris Nolan gave me. But I was not feeling intrigued by all these other great films as much as I was feeling intrigued by Chris Nolan's movies. So I decided to get to the bottom of Nolan's techniques, which makes his movies evergreen. After giving it an intense thought process, I finally pinpointed that perhaps it's Nolan's non-linear structure that gets people talking about his movies all the time. And it was this analysis right there which was my biggest mistake of concluding this non-linear structure as Chris Nolan's secret weapon in his arsenal. This non-linear structure is not his secret weapon. What is his secret weapon? That's a topic for another video. So without second guessing my analysis, I started writing, producing and directing my own non-linear short films. And believe me, it worked brilliantly. Brilliantly, it worked in the beginning while I was still in my university days. I gathered a small audience and built a cult following out of these films. But as my university days came to an end, so did the charm of my movies and the lifespan of my crew. So after I graduated, I built a new team and once again began making short films and releasing them online. Unfortunately, the audiences who were viewing my films, they were not giving a damn about my movies anymore. So once again, my second crew moved on to doing other things like my previous crew, and I was once again left with nothing. So something sparked in my mind and I decided to go back to the director who inspired me in the first place, and I decided to rewatch and reanalyze all his movies again in order to pinpoint what exactly has worked for him and what exactly is not just working for me. I decided not to watch his movies in chronological order. Instead, I shuffled them a bit. I watched Memento, then Interstellar, then Batman Begins and so on. I left The Dark Knight for the last, and when the last shot comes where Batman is riding on his bike and the shot cuts to black, it is then and right there that I realized that I just spent a huge chunk of my life working on the films that were based on the wrong analysis of somebody else's movies. So after I realized the truth behind my failure, my world came crashing down on me because I had just wasted a huge chunk of my life because I did not have the wisdom to second guess every decision I made and second guess everything I did. So after the dust was settled and tears were wiped, I decided not to throw in the towel, and I decided to give my passion for storytelling another shot. The only problem that I'm facing right now is that I have exhausted all my resources and all my collaborators. And artists in the country where I live, they're not really interested in making films because it's frankly the most difficult storytelling medium out there to work with. So keeping all these things in mind, I decided to take my experience online through blogs and vlogs on my website in order to connect and collaborate with other filmmakers from other countries around the world. Our collaboration would be simple. My role would be to provide a story and a screenplay, and your role would be to produce and direct the film that we decide to make together. That is the goal that is driving me now, to connect and collaborate with filmmakers and storytellers worldwide. No matter who you are, if you're a director, if you're a producer, if you have the resources or you can put together the resources, and if you're genuinely interested in making short films and then moving on doing much bigger things together, then I'm genuinely interested in providing a story and a screenplay for you to work with. We can genuinely work together from the opposite ends of the world no matter where we are. We can make great films, get people talking, and finally enter the landscape of Hollywood. Simply get in touch with me through my email, that is zeecon4@gmail.com, and stay tuned to my official website www.zeeconstory.com, where I'll be releasing vlogs about storytelling every Tuesday. So, in the hopes of connecting with filmmakers and storytellers worldwide, this is Mr. Zeecon in the making of a great story. Thank you.